Hi, we're looking at the Encyclopedia of the Ancient World. Going to be talking about Troy and the Trojan War. Okay, this story comes to us from the Iliad, which is a book by Homer. And Homer was a Greek poet and lived somewhere around 800 BC. And he tells the tale of a big war between Greece and Troy. And this is a city in Asia Minor, and currently which is in Turkey. Historically, we know a few things. We know that there was a war somewhere around 1250 BC, but we're not sure if it's the one Homer describes or not. But there's this legend, okay? And there's the legend that of the Trojan War in the city of Troy. And the legend starts with a lady named Helen, okay? Helen was the princess of Sparta and was claimed to have been the most beautiful woman in the world, and all of the Greeks wanted to marry her. However, there's Menelaus of Sparta. He was the brother of Agamemnon of Mycenae. He was chosen by the father to be Helen's husband. So her dad basically says, "This is who you're going to marry." And then the father forces everyone to swear support to Menelaus. But as things go, there's Paris, who is Priam's son, and he met Helen and they fall in love. And they decide to run away together. Menelaus and Agamemnon decide they can't have this. They organize a great military expedition to bring Helen back. This is how we get to the war. Okay? Basically, you have the war between the Greeks and the city of Troy, and the Greeks lay siege to the city of Troy, and there's battle that rages outside the walls, and they're laying siege to the city, and this happens for approximately 10 years, okay? During this time, and towards the end of this 10-year period, the Greek king Odysseus decides we need to do something, and he comes up with this trick that he thinks of, and he builds this huge wooden horse, and he leaves it as a gift outside the gates of the city of Troy. Unbeknownst to the people of Troy, the king Odysseus has filled it with soldiers. Also, to kind of go along with this, he takes all the rest of the soldiers, puts them in the ships, and they pretend basically to sail away in their ships. These decided this horse was a gift left to them for the goddess Athena, and they drag it inside the city, and eventually the soldiers sneak out at night and open the gates. These soldiers that had thought had sailed away had basically just feigned their escape. They sailed away a little while, and then they came back, and they sneak into the city in the middle of the night and completely destroy the city. And that's the legend of the Trojan War and that Trojan horse, okay? Eventually, we come up with a man named Henrik Schliemann. Henrik Schliemann, okay? He's a German businessman and amateur archaeologist. And he is just fascinated with this legend. And he's using Homer's work in the description of the city of Troy. And he's trying to find this city and trying to discover what happened there. And overlooking the Hellespont, which is a channel of water that separates Asia Minor and Europe, is where he decides this city may be. And he digs at a spot called Hisarlik in modern-day Turkey. And there he finds some interesting things. First, he finds the ruins of several different cities. They've been destroyed violently and built one on top of each other. And this is where is possibly the city of Troy from Homer's legend was. Mr. Henrik decides that this is exactly where it is, and he continues to look, and in 1873 he makes this incredible discovery. He finds a copper bowl, huge bowl, that's filled with gold, jewels, weapons, and ornaments. It becomes nicknamed Priam's treasure, and he completely believes it's from the Trojan War, and he's found it, and that, he's discovered something that's just going to live throughout in history. Unfortunately for him, it is eventually proved to be of a much more recent time period than would be the Trojan War. Thanks.